and hello everybody on Facebook. I'm going to go there in a second. So, Anna Marie, if you have the ability to, and Buffy and Angela, if you can look from time to
Yeah,
time to Facebook and bring over the questions, I'd appreciate that very much.
sure. No problem.
Okay. And so, Letiza, did you want to? So, kind of a thing for next week. There won't be a Friday next week because it's 4th of July here in the US. And we figured a lot of people would be with their families, etc. So, we won't have Friday, but we will have Thursday. Letiza, would you like to start?
Yes, yes. Thank you, John. So
You're
today the last set is the floral set. So this is the last of the fourth set of plastic.
Cottage
And
garden.
yeah, and this is very new when you open, very beautiful. So with the empty pan, you can fill with your favorite colors. And this set is made with these colors. So you have the cadmium yellow medium, the phenacridone gold, the phenacridone rose, the phthalo blue green shade, the cascade green, and the green apatite genuine. So you may see also the reference on the um, wait just a minute and I can open. Okay, so you can see this reference on the syllab. You can compare the colors, so you will find how much. Oh, sorry, how much they will stain. So sorry about this. Always. So the staining, so phenacridone gold has a low staining, the rose a medium staining, the phthalo as always has a high staining. Then we have the green apatite low staining, medium staining for the khaki green, low staining for the cadmium yellow medium hue. And then we have the list of granulating features. So we have the granulating only for the phenacridone gold, for the green apatite because it's a Primatech, the Cascade green because it's a co-precipitated color, and the other three are non-granulating. And so you can mix them all very well between them. And so they are all excellent light pattern and they are also transparent and semi-transparent. Giovanni had done a little thing for you. So just he painted with only two colors. He painted with cadmium yellow medium hue and phthalo blue green shade, just mixing them in the palette, just a little bit. He creates some shades and he creates a composition of pig. This is the original pig. While I work, so he worked about the sequence, about putting the yellow first and then adding the blue. And on the opposite, he worked with the blue on the ground and then add the yellow. So as you can see here. Me, instead, I work on freehand and I work with the green apatite, the cadmium yellow, and the phenacridone rose. And then I put a little bit of phenacridone gold here on the shadows. And this is an open fig. So we can go with another brand ambassador. That finished. Thank you for watching.
Was
Thank you,
caption.
Letiza.
Okay. Now we're gonna have Ashley.
No.
Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys can hear me okay using a headphone today. So we'll see how
I
it
hear
goes.
you well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. I am really excited because these are okay. This one's on my dot card. Of course, I love it. But this is hands down my number one favorite Daniel Smith color, Cascade Green. This was my very first color I bought from Daniel Smith, like with my own money, because I inherited my first set of Daniel Smith from an artist who passed away. And so this was my first one I bought. It has a special place in my heart. Cascade Green is magical. I don't know if you guys can see this on camera, but you get this beautiful separation You get kind of these glowing greens, you get blue, and it's just, oh my gosh. And it can do so many different things. It depends on the paper texture, like I kind of talked about last week. It depends on how much water you add. It depends on if you're using mass tone or not. There's so many variables when you're using, I mean, watercolor in general. That's why we love it. So I want to talk about mixing these two colors. So quinacridone gold, aka liquid sunshine, as we like to call it, is, I mean, it's a given. This color is just so, I like to use it for the underpainting when I'm doing pet portraits and I'm doing eyes. Anytime you've got like brown eyes and the sunlight's kind of reflecting, I like to do a quinacridone gold underlayer and then I'll layer maybe like burnt umber or something on top to get that sunlight reflection in the eyes. So here they are separate. And here we have them kind of, these are still playing together right now, but here we have them kind of playing together. And what I love is this almost like these mossy greens. So you've got these warm mossy greens all the way over to almost like a cooler green. And if you use a lot of water, you get, I'm going to lift this up right here. You get these, I don't even know what to call it, like almost like a light turquoise or something. And then if you use it mass tone, so this top row, this is kind of messy mixing, I call it. So with this row here, these two rows, I used a flat brush. But this row on top, I used this crazy, call this. I call this my Harry Potter wand. This is my Slytherin wand here. But when you get different textures and different effects depending on the brush too. Like I said, there's so many variables involved in this. So you can totally see the difference. So here we go. This is like adding water. So we've got kind of mass tone here and then slowly adding water. I like to dip my brush. So I'll start with a puddle and I'll use it straight like this. And then each time I make a stripe, I just dip my brush in the water without wiping it off. And we slowly water it down. Sorry, it's still wet. My goodness. Same thing on this side.
I
Look at
don't
that.
have
So
any
pretty.
Daniel Smith colors, but I live close to a blick and I would like to get the colors. I think I can create that.
And then this second row is mixing them together. So here we start with quinacridone gold, slowly moving towards Cascade green. And I'm kind of digging like this right here, actually, because we get these really mossy yet glowing, almost like brown. I mean, it speaks for itself. I'm without words at times regarding watercolor because they really speak for themselves. So those colors are right next to each other in the palette. Perfect for, playing around and mixing them together.
Beautiful.
All right. Anybody have any questions?
Oh, that's fantastic.
Awesome. Well, thank you for letting me share.
I have a quick question. Are we supposed to have these colors in advance before this Zoom class?
There's no supposed to. We're just having fun. We would love it if everybody plays along at home. We do send
Okay.
out our newsletter every Wednesday. So if you subscribe on our website, you will get notified the week before, or at least the day before.
Okay,
What colors?
okay, they'll let me know the colors that you'll be using. Okay, I didn't see that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Ashley. We'll now move on to Sylvia. There.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, Sylvia.
Hi.
Hello.
Bye, Sylvia.
Hi. Thank you, Ashley. Wonderful colors. Now, I choose quinacridone gold and queen rose because they are both transparent. I love this, especially to over paint, to put a layer on top to give light like this. Here, there's two colors. I hope there is focus. Like here, because it's so transparent that it covers without hiding the texture that I want to show. But one thing I want to show you is the way they mix, but especially this expansion, which I love in Queen Gold. It's amazing. Look at this. It's it spreads like this. Beautiful. And now the rose, Queen Rose, not the same expansion, but beautiful too. And they are Queen Gold low staining, so we can do lifting very well. Also, Queen Rose medium staining. It accepts a lifting as well. So this is very versatile colors, also to create others. I love this as primary. And adding a French ultramarine, we can have beautiful combinations of the secondary colors and so on. So here I will try to lift. See, it mixes, and it's non-granulated. The Queen Rose and the Queen Gold is granulated. So here, this paper is not good for lifting, but anyway, I love to play with this colors and mix here in the paper. Look at this. This is a Bauhong 100% cotton. It's masters, so it's a little bit difficult to. We can play a lot of things around here. Okay. But what I wanted you to see is that how subtle it is because of the transparency. I love it. Thank you, John, for this. It's
Oh, so
amazing.
welcome.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But yeah, this paper is not good for lifting. Anyway, I can show you here, and it's very, very subtle. Okay. And that's it. We can go to another ambassador. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Just a
Thank you.
question, Sylvia.
Yes.
Somebody, Lucy asked if you have a list of what color you have used on the pears.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can do it while the others paint, but a lot of colors here. Apatite, burnt scarlet, a lot of from my dot cards. Okay. Also the Queen Gold and Queen Rose. Oh my God, here I don't remember, but I think that I used a sap green with notes. It wasn't. Wow. I'll try to remember here and I put in the chat. Okay.
Sylvia, that's a beautiful painting.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, Raja. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love to do things like this, paint fruits and think also burnt sienna. I remember only the green. I think there is undersea green, French ultramarine for the greens too. Okay, with the Queen Gold. That's approximately all the colors that I have used it here. Okay.
Sylvia,
Yes.
Sylvia, when you first put the pears up, and you had your hand there. They're so real. I thought you were going to pick one up.
They're
Okay.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
But they
So-
are very transparent, and this is very good because you give light to the painting, and then no other can do this. It's gold. Thank you so much.
Let's have Caroline.
Hey everybody, welcome to the
Caroline.
future. We were talking about that funny thing that it's Friday in Australia and Thursday in many other places. Appears some people are still in Wednesday, which was a lovely giggle this morning. But today the invitation to contribute was a really nice invitation. So I thought I'd continue the story of swatching. It's something that we've been all discussing in the last week and thinking about what colours I'd choose. I did look at my dot card. You can see I have quinacridone rose on my dot card. I also have Cascade green. But today I thought take the opportunity to introduce another colour that's not on my dot card. And you can see by this tube it's nearly empty. It's a really often favourite colour that I go to. So green Apatite Genuine. I have to tell you a little story about this colour because many, many years ago, I was on a plane on my way to Europe and there was a marketing magazine, as there used to be in the pocket of many planes. And I opened this page and it had this gorgeous picture of the first introduction of the primer text from Daniel Smith. And I was so excited and I read this article and I was just like, wow, look at those colours. Where do I get them? Where do I find them? And they were so new to the market that every store I went to didn't have them yet. They were waiting on them. And finally, I arrived in Glasgow and the art store there happened to stock them. And I got these little gorgeous set of 5mm tubes of Primatech and I thought they were gold. I was going to get home. I couldn't wait to play with them. When I first got home, of course, I pulled them out and I didn't understand them. So my first experience with them was really, oh, wow, well, what, how? Why did they not look like, you know, the article in the magazine? What am I doing wrong? All the rest of it. But over time, I've come to understand the unique qualities of the Primatech, and this green Apatite was one of those ones that I really took time to learn. And once you understand lots of pigment, lots of water, it's just amazing the effects you can get from the whole Primatech range, but this particular one has got so many beautiful qualities. So green Apatite Genuine. If I push this up really close, maybe I can get it close enough. Can you see? It's almost like it's got my light is getting in the way, isn't it?
Caroline,
it's
bring
almost
it towards you.
towards me.
Caroline, yes,
Yeah.
a little
So you
more.
can almost see it's almost got a leathery quality to the color. I'm not having much luck because I've got bright light to give you a good lighting or poor light and we won't see it. So, but you need to try them. You need to play with them. You need to understand they don't behave the same as some of your other watercolors. And they do like lots of pigment and they do like lots of water and just leave them do their thing. They're incredible, absolutely incredible. So going into the idea of a color page, a sample page, the choosing quinacridone rose, which from my dot card I thought was an appropriate color to choose, and then introducing something I loved about the green Apatite Genuine. I've done this swatch card, which gives me the transition of the two colors, the lovely variables that come between those two colors, numerous earthy colors, earthy pinks, right through to the really richness of a quinacridone pink. I shouldn't call it pink, it is quinacridone rose. Quinacridone rose is slightly more on the bluer side than quin coral, for example. And quin pink, again, it's even more on the bluer side than even quin rose. So every different quin has a slight different variable. This page is giving me lots of information. It tells me what the mass tone is versus the light tone. It
Caroline?
shows me, yeah.
Caroline, sorry, it looks very washed now. Can you try putting like one of the brushes there?
Hang on. Does that help that I turn my light down?
It's still washed. I think it's taking time. The camera is just adjusting. Put it down and then try to put an object on that piece of artwork so that it can
Put an
focus on
object
something.
on it,
Let's try.
or focus on. You can have a coffee cup. It's even bleaching it even more.
Yeah, it is.
You need a contrasting color.
It's okay. I
That's not
think,
really helping, is it?
we will definitely come back to you so we can fix that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, we have time to fix after
Okay.
this segment.
Okay, but
Sure.
otherwise, in general, a swatch card. And what I will do is I'll photograph this and I'll share it on the pages so you can see the idea of the swatch card that I've created. Okay.
Thank
Caroline.
you.
Thanks.
They're slowly coming back. But anyway, we saw the original colors earlier. Good, I think about 3 minutes exposure. We'll definitely come back to your frame. Now we're gonna
Thanks.
invite Angela.
Hello,
Oh,
how are
Angela.
you? It's
Hi, Angela.
very hot Spain. Unfortunately, I don't like the heat so much, but anyway, I cannot complain. I chose, surprisingly, I mean that ironically, it's not surprising that I chose the quinacridone, the green apatite genuine, because it's a color I use very much. Here you have one of my paintings. I think I showed it before, but I just love it. Caroline has just talked about it. And for me, it was love at first sight. I mean, I just loved it because I could see how it divides into type of browns and or yellowish and greens. And at the same time, it produces this incredible, this is just pure green apatite, you see? It's just the pure color. I don't know if it's, yeah, it's visible, right? And also here, and here it is mixed with the Hansa yellow medium. So I chose, maybe I should have chosen other colors, but I will maybe use another one. I will paint a little bit, just some swatches, and I'll use another one. Here is the phthalo turquoise. But see that the granulation of this Primatec color affects the other colors. And so phthalo turquoise, phthalo blue turquoise, I cannot remember which of the two, but it becomes granulating after it is in contact with the granulating color, like in the green apatite. I just love this color. For me, it gives me full of possibilities. This is one of the paintings I wanted to show. And the other one, I think I've shown it before as well, but it is very apt for this moment, which is this one. Especially here at the bottom. Here is all the granulation, marvelous granulation happening. Some people may say, okay, I don't like granulation. Then you have the option of using non-granulating colors, but for me, that is a plus. And also combining it with yellows. This is very good if you want to paint nature. So for other topics, maybe, sorry, I'm picking up the board that fell. I will do a couple of swatches and with these colors. Maybe I should bring the camera nearer. Is that okay like this? Or there is a shadow?
Yeah.
Can you see well?
You can see it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as you see, I think you realize you can see that the page has been wetted with the spray. Okay. I have sprayed on the page. let it sink for a while. I will spray it again because this is not the usual hot pressed paper, but this is cold pressed. So there we go. Just see what happens with this wonderful green apatite. So this is a Primatech color, so it has mineral, it's made from minerals. Now, this is a mountain. Another mountain. Landscape. So what do I have to do to get that granulation? You can leave it like that or add some water to produce the granulation. In my case, I want to produce the granulation, so that's what I will do. I will add some water.
Angela, what is the brush that you're using right now?
This is a liner actually by Anders Andersson, the Neve brush. Can you see the name?
Yep.
Neve brush, Anders Andersson Neve brush. I bought it in Australia and I love it. So it was wet, the paper, but it was not wet enough, I think. Let's see if I can get it to granulate. Maybe on this paper it won't granulate so much, but no problem. We will add a little bit of the yellow and mix it with, oh, it's very powerful. Some fields of gold.
Mhm.
Now here pure, what do you call this? These plants that the cows eat that is totally yellow?
Canola?
Yes, granola, yes. We call it something totally different. Oh, but I love this. Let's see if it wants to granulate, or maybe it needs some more green. Let me do that. Very, almost straight from the tube. Almost straight from the tube.
It's hard to find patience while you wait for granulation, and that's something we all need to learn.
Oh, yes. Sometimes it happens immediately, and sometimes it doesn't. But I think the paper helps a lot. So this paper is, I think it's Bauhon. It was a sheet that I had, and it doesn't granulate so much. So don't be frustrated when you don't get so much granulation, because it's also about the paper. So I am adding, I think it's sap green to add to the landscape, and sap green with yellow. As you see, I make a lot on the paper, not so much on the palette. The beautiful liner. Okay, it's starting to happen here. And so I need now a little bit of sky. It's not one of the colors in the palette, but just I want to paint some sky. So I wet the paper. This palette is gorgeous with these quinacridones and all these colors. It's very, very nice. So this is my test for today for these two colors. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angela.
Questions?
Nice.
What's the sky color?
Oh, that is probably because it was in my palette. I think it's cobalt and ultramarine mixed with a little bit of purple. I had some purple in there.
Beautiful.
Let's invite Flo.
Thank you. Yes. So I have Cascade Green and Phthalo Blue Green shade today, and both are on my dot card. The Phthalo Blue Green shade I primarily use for layering, and the Cascade Green I love to mix with walnut ink. And you can see that separation, of that nice pretty Phthalo Blue that is in the Cascade Green. Just really lovely. But part of the reason that I picked this combo today is because a few weeks ago, I don't remember who it was in chat, but someone posed the question, maybe it would be nice sometime to talk about what makes a perylene, what makes a quinacridone, what makes a phthalo. So I thought I could touch on that briefly and then paint a little bit on some mineral paper. So the Cascade Green has phthalocyanine blue 15, and the Phthalo Blue Green shade has phthalocyanine blue 15-3. These are related. In chemistry, they're what we call polymorphs. So imagine for a moment that I have a card deck and all of these cards are the same. And I can stack them like so, just a deck sitting there, or I can build a house of cards. But to do my house of cards, I have to have the angle just right. If it's too wide or too narrow, the whole thing is going to collapse. But in these two configurations, these cards are pretty happy. So when you can have the same building block that will make different stable shapes, that's where this polymorph word comes from. For the copper phthalocyanine, which is the molecule of how we get these phthalo blue colors, imagine that my card is this molecule and I can stand it on its side. And one way that we achieve different shades of color is to arrange these molecules in different ways. So I can have a brickwork pattern, something like this. I can have a herringbone, so like a herringbone floor, except maybe this floor isn't totally flat. There's some twists and whatnot kind of happening, but the basic shape is here. Or maybe I can have sort of a wider, like a more shallow herringbone configuration, right? Because the light is going to hit this molecule differently because of these different shapes, your eye is going to perceive variations in this color. So the beta, for example, this is called the beta polymorph. This is the arrangement for phthalo blue green shade. This epsilon, I took a little guess at the shape here. I was able to find structures for the alpha and beta, the epsilon. I'm kind of using some inference, but this is what your eye is going to perceive as phthalo blue red shade. So red shade and green shade. This one likes to stick together. And so this general kind of PB15, this can either mean what's called the alpha phase, or it can mean kind of a mix of phthalos. But imagine your manganese blue hue, right? This is the PB15 and it does granulate. I imagine it's probably quite a bit of this polymorph. And the Cascade Green, you can see the color in it, and I'll show you on this mineral paper swatch. The color in it is pretty similar to that manganese blue hue. So it is kind of interesting to know, you know, how these things kind of are built and how we're achieving these different shades. But there's more that this tells you about the chemistry and then how you can use it in your work. So again, this brickwork, all of this kind of wants to gum up. It wants to flocculate or granulate. So if I'm going to use a really smooth surface like this mineral paper, so this is, think of it as painting on eggshells, right? It's not very porous. It's calcium carbonate held together with a bit of plastic. So a lot of your pigments are going to sit right on top. So this was a Cascade green swatch done on it. And you can see, you can get these beautiful lines. Maybe it's too bright to really focus well, but, and the blue kind of separates out the phthalo blue component in the Cascade green. Because this color does granulate, the particles, they're really big. I want to be careful on this particular surface that I don't dilute it too heavily because I need enough binder to hold that product on. Whereas the phthalo blue green shade is, the particles are tiny. It's going to find a home even on that smooth surface. So I can achieve these really lovely layers, right? So that's an example with a phthalo in it. This one has phthalo blue green shade and maybe a little bit of neutral tint. So I'll show you how to start getting these. I'll clear some of this off of my workspace and we'll mix up some phthalo blue green shade. So again, I can go pretty dilute with it. And I am going to use a hairdryer a little bit to show you. So I do really love the sticks. If they're at all new to you, you just activate them in a little puddle of water like that, nice and easy. And when I make something like this, I'm starting with one puddle and I'm working it until I get to the end. So for example, I'll just make a little circle. And I want to make sure that my paint's really mixed up because any little pink clumps are going to show. This surface is so smooth. So you can, you know, simply paint on it like you would a cotton paper. And I encourage you, coming back to the swatching idea, different papers give different effects. And so it's fun to take different kinds of paper and see how your paints behave on them. So I have my little puddle. I'm going to add just a drop more water so I can get it to move a bit. And you can see already I'm forming an edge. So this paper has a heat limit. You do not want to get it hot. So when I use this hairdryer, I'm using it at a very low setting. So I'm taking advantage of the staining quality of this pigment. The particles are so tiny. It's just, it'll stain really beautifully. So I dried a portion and now I'm coming back and letting all those little tiny particles settle in. And because it's so staining, I can actually come back over and do some overlaps. The Cascade green doesn't allow that as well, but the phthalo blue green shade with its tiny particles does. To a limit, you'll saturate the paper. You can't do it too many times.
So, John, have you ever seen somebody use your pigments in this manner before?
I have not. It's very nice.
Pretty
So that's,
awesome.
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. That's the basic method for bringing out these kinds of effects inside your work with the mineral paper. The cautions again that I do have are don't get it hot. If you use a large particle, you have to have the binder there. You see on this one, I did use some gold. I put that on at the end. You have to have the binder to hold it to this very, 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 very smooth surface. The manufacturer recommends just putting them behind glass. I have pieces up on the wall that I've had for years. It holds up really beautifully. You can use, I think they recommend a Krylon sealant on their website. And once you get to the end, you'll see because these particles have nowhere to go, once you kind of use the small ones up with the staining, you'll kind of be left with a puddle where you can start to see the granulation. And so that's when I tend to kind of stop. I mean, I don't want to risk blowing around pigment. I need it to be captured inside my liquid. But if you do that, you can actually get a really nice contrast of these smooth portions with this granulated center. So that was my chemistry lesson for today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very nice, Lowell.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
We love
Thank
you,
you,
Lowell.
Lowell.
Thanks for bringing this amazing science
Thank
to
you.
watercolor.
Up next, we are gonna have Buffy.
Okay, really quick, just to follow up on Lowell. This is my Lowell swatch from the last time when she was sharing how walnut ink and the phthalo blue green shade is magic with walnut ink. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to her because I've saved this on my wall to remember that combo. But for today, I was gonna do just a one pot soup real quick to see how all the colors play together. But I wanted to highlight the staining power. So just because the phthalo blue green shade is so in your face, if you water it down, you can get a beautiful sky color. And then here I just did some stem work with the phthalo blue green shade and the Cascade green, which are both staining to show you can kind of start an underpainting. And the color will move just a little bit, but see, I can paint right over it and just activate it. And now I can put in some of these colors. And instead of pouring, I'm going to start with that Cascade green because of Angela's share. I was really excited to play with that color first. Imagine this is a field. Here's some phthalo blue green shade, some Cascade green, and I'm going to go right up. I have a couple things that are masked, so I'm just going to do a couple little stems right up to where those are.
I love those, Buffy.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to mist it right here just to let it kind of naturally come up into the sky a little bit. But since the sky is staining, we're good there. And then I thought a little bit of the quinacridone rose would actually neutralize some of these greens and give me some gray and hopefully give me a little bit of depth. And we know that the quinacridone gold is exciting. So what if I splattered that in and watched it move things around? So pretty. And then we had the cadmium medium hue. And I'm gonna put a little bit of this on, but maybe more in a clump. Like maybe these will be some yellow poppies in the scene here. And then by just letting these mingle, we can see what they would look like, how they get along with each other. These sets that Daniel Smith makes kind of take some of the guessing work out because they put these colors together for a reason. And so it's kind of nice when you have curated sets, because there's a really good chance that there's a lot of information that went into selecting the colors. I don't know if John can speak to that a little bit today or not. How do you come up with these sets, if you don't mind sharing?
You know, it's actually Catherine Taylor, who's the president, comes up with them, and she does that in association with the brand ambassadors. She looks for different qualities, what would be best for doing florals or seascapes or landscapes, and it's wonderful to bounce it off of artists.
Thank you. Then once this layer dries, then I can go in and pull that masking fluid off and then, you know, put in some more values and build up my field of flowers. So this is
Nice.
my one pot soup, guys. Thank you
Very
for that.
nice.
Thank you.
We still have about, let's see, about 12 minutes left. So, John, shall we invite any from our guests if anyone has followed our session today and would like to share your artwork?
I think that would be wonderful.
Let's try Anna. I saw Anna.
Joan.
Hello.
Uh,
Oh, hi. Hi, everybody. I just did very little, just trying to follow along, and I have more to do, but forget it. What I was going to say, they were saying, I wanted to thank about the newsletter that you're sharing. And so I did a little bit, if you see, it's newsletter prep work. And so I tried a little bit, just playing along, and there's an accidental flower here, if you can look really close. And this is from some fuchsias that are already spent, but and so I tried to mix a little bit of the flowers. So it's really nice to have the heads up with the newsletter. So thank you. And then I started doing swatches because I'm of Ashley's and Buffy's swatch teams. So I love to do this, and I haven't finished. I still have a lot to do, and now I really have to look up to Ashley because she really did a beautiful thing here with the gold, Queen Gold and Cascade Green. So and then Caroline, then her swatching was incredible. So now I have to do post newsletter work with all the fun colors. So just and oh, and I wanted to share very quickly because I did a while ago. You have a thing with florals with Sandy Alnock, and it's in the website. And I also copied this one with that you have. So there's a ton of material to go and do everything. So thank you for all the resources you share.
We love it. Thank you, Anna.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, Anna. Beautiful.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing.
I do
would
see
like to
sketches.
At some moment, I would like to share
Sure.
that I did the same composition on hot press paper.
Mhm.
Oh, that's nice, actually.
Oh,
See the difference in the granulation? It's the same composition. I'll put them both side by side. I don't know if you can see, just a moment. Yes. I managed to get some granulation, but not as much as the other one. Funny, huh? Thank you. Just wanted to share this.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Yeah, just little changes can make big changes.
Exactly.
Whatever paper you used and whatever.
Yeah.
We could use distilled water versus tap water. That might be interesting also.
Yeah, and if you're near the beach, you can use seawater. That would make a change.
thank you, Angela. Let's check on, yeah, there. And glad to see that the colors are back, Caroline. Your mic is
Okay,
off.
I'm muted.
We can't hear you, Caroline.
Caroline,
Caroline.
Now I'm muted. I'm not having a good
There we
morning, am
go.
I?
Now we can hear you.
That's better.
So here you go. I will photograph it all for you and share it on the share pages through Ethel. Thank you for her amazing work behind the scenes all the time. And I hope I inspire you to play around with new color combinations and create yourself a nice and fun swatch.
Very nice.
Now we can see it perfectly well.
Yeah.
There were comments in the chat, Caroline, how everyone was loving how your swatch cards look like brochures.
Yeah, well, that might be a bit of my past doing graphic design with students in schools, creating things like this. So yes, probably is why it looks like a brochure.
Love it.
That's nice, Sylvia.
Thank you.
Buffy, is your artwork dry enough that you can pull up some of the masking fluid or a piece of the masking fluid?
If you give me like maybe 2 more minutes, it's almost dry.
Got it. Absolutely.
John, can I show you my dot cards?
Absolutely.
It's here. Ah.
Oh, very interesting, Veronica.
Oh,
I know it's not as technical as yours, but I'm gonna have a workshop in Madrid, and I'm gonna bring the colors from you. So I want all of them to have the same color. So I brought I'm making the dot cards for the project. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Very
I
nice.
will tell you after. It's in October. I mean, it's still time, but I want them to have the experience of your paintings. I really love them.
Thank you. Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Veronica, are you working around the edges of the dot card? Is it like triads or what's it laid out? What's the sequence?
Well, these are the bright colors, and these are for the shadows. And let me show you here are the names of the how I figured out. These are the bright colors of the project, and in the other one are the dark ones, the green, the one you show us right now, the Cascade green, the undersea green. Those colors are in that I can hear it is. And hematite, or I don't know how to say it. I say it, hematite burnt, and quinacridone gold, and those more dry. Well, for me, are more dry colors, and these are the bright colors. That's the difference between the two. These are the most used for me. Well, I use more these colors than any others. So
wow, thank you. That's awesome.
Very
lovely. Yeah, that's
Cool
nice.
idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Great.
Where are you teaching? In Madrid?
I'm gonna be in the in Eche Rivera de Manzanares. I write to you in the Instagram, Angela.
Okay.
Nice.
Sorry to take your time.
That's great.
We've got one more from Sketches and Scrubs, who apparently has got something gorgeous to show us.
yeah, I was about to call her name.
I wasn't gonna say gorgeous. I was just wanted to share like my sketchbook because I let me try on blur. I went to an art retreat, and as part of it, to kind of make my life a little bit easier, I just chose a limited palette. which consisted of like liquid azure yellow, quin gold, quin rose, and ultramarine blue. And that's pretty much what I just kept using over and over again. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I ran out of paint, which is the first time that has happened to me. Had to buy more paint while at the retreat. And that was with Tom Shepherd. But yeah, it was really lovely. So I just wanted to like highlight that, you know, quin gold and liquid azure gold, especially when combined with quin rose, makes some really beautiful mixes.
Very
Cool.
nice.
Wow, those are great. I love the view.
Amazing. It's so good to see.
Shepherd is awesome.
Congratulations in running out of paint.
Yes.
Something to be proud of.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Every
Everyone's
artist's worst nightmare running out of paint.
Ashley's look amazing.
Beautiful.
That's very nice.
Thank you. Sorry.
I'm digging yours, Caroline.
Look at all of that. That's awesome.
I'm ready now, John, if you want me to pull off the masking fluid.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, okay, let's put Buffy's cam on spotlight and remove the rest first. Hang on. There you go.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, I did that first layer and then I did a second layer, just building up all the chaos of the field. And then when I pull this off, I've just preserved some white where I can then go in and put some pure color. For instance, like our California poppies are very bright and bold. So that would be a neat color to put in here. And then the quinacridone rose did neutralize some of these colors, but these colors are quite bright, quite rainbow and fantastic. So just by doing that little bit of masking in the beginning, you now have a spot where you can, let's go with the quinacridone rose real quick and some quin gold. And then I can just kind of go in and add, sorry, I don't like that brush right now. And add some little poppies. And it just preserved it so they'll stand out against all the chaos of the field.
It really pops.
Yeah, it's nice.
Gives you a way to make them stand out, and nothing has to be perfect, you know, we just are playing. So thank you for these wonderful sets, Catherine.
Yeah.
Did you
I think
have,
that one is Jean Haynes. I think Jean Haynes kind of came up with the colors with me on the floral.
oh, thank you. I was going to ask who was the influence for this one, because
Yeah, I think it says on the back, but I believe it's Jean Haynes.
oh, that's great.
That's
Thank
cool.
you, guys.
He comes up with
Pretty
wonderful
good
combinations.
taste.
Yeah.
Jean Haynes has a pretty good way of seeing things.
Whoa, I guess. Yeah, yeah.
What you mean?
He inspires all of us.
Yeah.
Yes. Look at that.
Wonderful. How those colors pop.
Yeah, that's really nice.
A few touches and
Nice. Yeah, and then voila, right?
Hey, wonderful.
Thank you, guys. So that's
Beautiful.
that's what they look like if you throw them all in the pot together.
great.
I like that.
Flower soup.
Amazing.
Tape removal.
Beautiful.
Thank you, everyone. This was a fun share today.
Yay.
Very nice.
Wonderful.
Yes, thank you, everyone. It was great to watch you do your work.
Great session. Thank you.
Nice,
you.
nice group of colors. Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you so
John.
much,
Oh,
everyone.
thank you, everybody. It was wonderful.
Thank you, anyone.
That's great.
See you tomorrow.
See you.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.